Tonight, several developing stories as we come on the air. We are tracking two major storms just days before Thanksgiving. Also, two passenger planes, one clipping the other in Boston. More than 50 cars stolen from the Dallas airport.
For a very long time, David Muir has been a well-known and respected figure in the American journalism community. He is also the public face of ABC News. He has brought viewers the stories that matter the most, from the devastating impact of hurricanes to political upheavals shaping the world. He is known for his commanding presence and impeccable delivery while he has brought these stories to the audience. Numerous accolades, including Emmy Awards and the admiration of millions of viewers, have been bestowed upon him over the course of his career as a result of his professionalism, poise, and empathy. However, a deeply personal story lies behind the polished facade of the man that many people rely on for the truth. This is a story that very few people knew about until very recently. This wall has been brought down by heartbreaking news, which has revealed a side of the anchor that viewers rarely see. David Muir has always kept his private life separate from his public role, but the news has brought that wall down. An unshakable composure has always been something that Muir has exuded in the world of live television, which is a world where breaking news does not wait for anyone. However, even the most resilient among us are not immune to the cruel twists of fate that will befall us in life. Recently, the host of ABC News was confronted with news that was so devastating that it left even this seasoned journalist struggling to find a balance between his personal suffering and his professional obligations. This tragedy has not only put Muir's resilience to the test, but it has also brought to light the immense pressure that public figures face when they are tasked with providing hope and clarity during difficult times, all while grappling with their own emotional battles. The revelation has not only left his co-workers and fans in a state of shock, but it has also shed light on the profound humanity that Muir possesses and the extraordinary strength that is required to continue the fight. Please tell me about this devastating piece of information that completely altered David Muir's life. In addition, how has he been able to continue to fulfill his role as one of the most trusted anchors in the United States of America while simultaneously coping with such a profound personal loss? This is the story of the man who is behind the camera, the one that has not been told. His struggles, his perseverance, and the lessons he has learnt along the way. This is a story that will leave you feeling inspired, heartbroken, and most importantly, reminded of the strength that lies within each and every one of us. Stay tuned as we delve into David Muir's life in a way that has never been done before. His journey to becoming one of the most trusted voices in American journalism is a testament to his passion, dedication, and unyielding drive. David Muir's journey began when he was interested in journalism. Muir was born on November 8, 1973 in Syracuse, New York, and he was raised in a family that was very close to each other, consisting of his parents and his older sister. His upbringing was understated but rich in love and support, which contributed to the formation of the principles and work ethic that he continues to uphold to this day. When David was a young boy, he was completely enthralled by the news. During the time that the majority of children were occupied with activities such as playing outside or watching cartoons, he would sit in front of the television, totally captivated by famous journalists such as Peter Jennings. He did not merely observe the news, rather he studied it, daydreaming about the possibility of one day being able to tell stories to millions of viewers. Over the course of his life, Muir's enthusiasm for telling stories only grew stronger. His tour of a local television station, which he did when he was 12 years old, is frequently cited by him as the event that sparked his interest in pursuing a career. Ithaca College was the institution that Muir attended, and he majored in journalism there. He was determined to pursue his dreams. Almost immediately, his talent and drive became apparent, which resulted in him receiving awards and opportunities that distinguished him from his contemporaries. Immediately following his graduation from college, Muir started working as a reporter for WTVH-TV in Syracuse. During his time there, he covered a wide range of topics, from severe weather events to political stories that broke new ground. Not only did his reporting garner him praise from the members of the community, but it also attracted the attention of national networks. In the highly competitive field of journalism, Muir came out on top due to his exceptional ability to connect with viewers and deliver stories that had a significant impact. As an anchor for World News Now, Muir began his career with ABC News in the year 2003, during which he assumed increasingly prominent roles. His job has required him to travel all over the world, and he has covered significant events such as the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina, the Arab Spring, and the COVID-19 pandemic all over the world. A significant portion of Muir's success can be attributed to the unflinching support of his family, as well as his unyielding dedication to telling stories that are significant. Muir has always maintained his groundedness, despite the fact that his schedule is extremely demanding. His rise to power was not solely the result of ambition. Rather, it was the result of a profound sense of purpose to educate, motivate, and bring clarity to a world that is frequently clouded by uncertainty. The journey that Muir took from being a young boy with a dream to becoming a journalist who is recognized on a national level is nothing short of inspiring. Nevertheless, despite the fact that his professional achievements are celebrated by millions of people, very few people are aware of the personal challenges that he has faced behind the scenes. These challenges were recently brought to light in a revelation that was extremely upsetting. Due to the polished and composed manner in which David Muir presents himself on screen, he has become a household name and a beacon of trust for millions of people who look to him for the most recent news developments. After delivering stories of triumph and tragedy with unwavering professionalism night after night, he has earned the nickname America's Anchor. However, as is the case with any public figure, the image that we see is only a portion of the story. Despite appearances, there is a man who is going through the same kinds of personal challenges and emotional struggles as everyone else, and perhaps even more so, given the enormous amount of pressure that his career is putting on him. One of the most important factors that has contributed to Muir's success is his capacity to keep his cool and remain collected in the face of breaking coverage. The qualities of self-assurance and empathy that he exudes resonate with viewers. Whether he is reporting from regions that have been devastated by hurricanes or conducting interviews with world leaders. Despite the fact that Muir presents an impeccable facade, he has been through challenges that are rarely brought to the public's attention. Given Muir's schedule, which includes everything from early morning briefings to late-night broadcasts, there is very little room for personal downtime. Even for someone as disciplined as Muir, the pressure to maintain a competitive edge in an industry that is highly competitive and to deliver flawless performances each and every evening is a significant burden. Despite the fact that he has always maintained a level of grace in the face of criticism, the emotional weight of covering tragic events has presented him with challenges at times. Muir is frequently described as a deeply empathic individual by those who are close to him. He is often said to carry the stories he reports with him long after the cameras have stopped rolling. His close friends and co-workers have told him that he has a difficult time dealing with the grief of the individuals whose lives have been irrevocably altered as a result of the events that he covers. Muir's emotional investment in his work is profound, as evidenced by the fact that he has met families that have been displaced as a result of natural disasters and has listened to the harrowing accounts of war survivors. Despite the fact that it is admirable, this level of commitment does come at a price. Through the years, Muir has acquired the ability to compartmentalize, which allows him to differentiate between his personal life and his professional responsibilities. On the other hand, this delicate balancing act is not always flawless. Muir was forced to confront his vulnerabilities head-on as a result of a heartbreaking personal ordeal that occurred in recent times. This struggle has been brought into sharper focus recently. It is clear that Muir is resilient in spite of the difficulties he has faced. His capacity to triumph over both personal and professional pressures has served as a source of motivation not only for his fellow workers, but also for the millions of viewers he watches. The recent disclosure of his personal suffering, on the other hand, has served to remind everyone that even the most resilient among us often experience moments of vulnerability, and that it is acceptable to seek support from other people. The moment David Muir was given the news that no one is ever ready to hear, his entire world was turned upside down and changed forever. There was a private life that was filled with close bonds and cherished relationships, particularly with his cherished mother, Pat, that lay hidden behind the polished image of the celebrated anchor, who worked for ABC News. In the midst of the chaos that was Muir's high-profile career, his family served as more than just a support system. They were his foundation, which helped him to remain grounded. But the unexpected is something that life has a way of delivering. Recently, Muir was confronted with a devastating loss that shook his world, which had been carefully balanced. After a brief but intense battle with an unexpected illness, his mother, who was a vibrant and loving presence in his life, passed away. Not only did Muir, but also everyone else who knew her, was taken aback by the latest information. Pat had been his rock from the beginning, always encouraging him from behind the scenes and being proud of every accomplishment he had accomplished. Significant was Muir's sense of loss. As someone who spends his days telling the most heartbreaking stories in the world, he was no stranger to tragedy. However, this time, the heartbreak was personal to him. The death of his mother was more than just the loss of a parent. It was also the loss of his confidant, his unflinching supporter, and the individual who had always believed in him without condition, regardless of the circumstances. The time that followed her passing was a haze of confusion. The ever-professional Muir continued to make appearances on World News Tonight, where he delivered breaking news with the same level of composure that he had become known for. Behind the scenes, he was struggling with pain that was beyond anyone's ability to comprehend, but to the millions of people watching at home, he appeared to be as calm as ever. His co-workers at ABC News observed a change in his demeanor because of his behavior. The lightheartedness that Muir brought to the newsroom appeared to have diminished, despite the fact that he had always been dedicated to his work. His co-workers remarked that he had become more reserved, more introspective, and visibly burdened by his grief. It was Muir's mother who had always been a source of strength for him. She frequently reminded him to take pride in his work and to never lose sight of the people whose stories he was telling. Because of her passing, there is a void that cannot be filled by any accolade or career milestone. During the time that followed her passing, Muir sought solace and support from his family, particularly from his sister Rebecca. They were able to find comfort in the memories they shared with one another and in the knowledge that Pat's love and pride in her children would endure without end. Despite the fact that he had suffered a tremendous loss, Muir was able to honor his mother's legacy in the manner that he was most familiar with, through his work. During a broadcast that was particularly emotional, he told a story about a mother who made a sacrifice for her family. His voice was steady, but it was filled with an unmistakable depth of feeling. The difference was noticeable to viewers who had been following his career for a number of years. Rather than being merely another report, the story was a tribute to the woman who had played a significant role in shaping the man that he had become. Muir's incredible strength and resilience are demonstrated by the fact that he was able to continue on with his life despite the challenges he faced. However, despite the fact that he continues to carry out his duties as one of the most trusted journalists in the country, the passing of his mother serves as a powerful reminder that even those who appear to be unbreakable are, in fact, human. This heartbreaking chapter in Muir's life has not only shed light on the depths of his character, but it has also motivated a great number of people to contemplate the significance of family and the strength of love in the face of loss. David Muir found himself in the position of navigating a storm of emotions in the aftermath of the death of his mother, all while attempting to balance the demands of his high-profile career. For someone who is accustomed to keeping their cool under pressure, this was a situation that presented a significant personal challenge. Nevertheless, Muir was able to uncover the power of the relationships that had quietly supported him throughout his life as he went through the experiences of grief. Muir's family was in a significant position to assist him in coping with the situation. Rebecca, his sister, became his anchor, providing him with a secure environment in which he could openly express his anguish and share his feelings. As they reminisced about their mother, the siblings, who had always been very close to one another, discovered that doing so brought them comfort. These stories became a source of solace and healing for them, ranging from the childhood vacations they spent in Syracuse to the countless moments of encouragement she had provided for them and everything in between. Also stepping in to provide unwavering support were close friends of the individual. The ability of Muir to be there for others while he was dealing with his own personal loss was something that many of them admired. One of his longtime friends referred to him as a rock for so many people, even while his own world was crumbling. It was this duality, Muir's strength in the face of vulnerability, that inspired those around him to rally behind him during the times when he was at his most vulnerable. The people who worked with Muir at ABC News became like an extended family to him. They made sure that he had the space he required to work through his grief, as they were aware of the impact that the death of his mother had had on him. In the meantime, Muir continued to fulfill his professional obligations, and his team discreetly stepped in to help lighten the load whenever it was possible to do so. A number of people, including producers, writers, and fellow anchors, expressed their admiration for his resiliency and frequently shared their own experiences of loss in order to tell him that he was not alone. It was the very stories that Muir told on the air that provided him with one of the most profound sources of strength at the time. In the wake of his passing, the experience of reporting on stories of human resiliency, kindness, and perseverance took on a more profound significance. He frequently reflected on the ways in which the individuals he covered had found ways to triumph over adversity and carry on the legacies of their loved ones to future generations. It served as a timely reminder that life, despite its suffering, also possessed the capacity for rejuvenation and development. At the same time, Muir sought solace in the solitude and quiet of his own moments. By taking long walks in the woods, keeping a journal, and reading his mother's favorite books again, he was able to re-establish a connection with her spirit. Through the use of these rituals, he was able to secretly grieve while still exhibiting the composure and professionalism that his audience had come to anticipate from him. During the course of this journey, Muir's capacity to rely on other people while still adhering to his fundamental principles became a demonstration of his resilient nature. Even in the face of unfathomable loss, support systems, whether they be family, friends, or colleagues, can serve as the basis for healing. His story serves as a reminder of this fact. The resilience that Muir exhibited is not only a reflection of his character, it is also a powerful lesson for anyone who is navigating the process of grieving. He has demonstrated to the world that even in the most difficult of circumstances, there is a way forward. He has done this by leaning on those around him, embracing his feelings, and honoring the memory of his mother. The fact that David Muir was able to bounce back after the death of his mother has left an indelible impression not only on those who are personally acquainted with him, but also on the millions of people who admire him from a distance. He has demonstrated the depth of his resilience and his unwavering commitment to the values that define him through his journey through grief, which he has balanced with the unrelenting demands of his career. The manner in which Muir dealt with this tragic chapter has inspired a legacy that extends beyond the realm of journalism for him. His co-workers at ABC News have described him as a leader who not only exemplifies professionalism, but also serves as a reminder to them of the significance of genuineness and compassion. It has been reaffirmed that he is one of the most trusted figures in the news industry because of his ability to maintain his composure in front of the camera while simultaneously dealing with a personal tragedy behind the scenes. The perseverance of Muir has also served as a source of motivation for viewers. The fact that he continues to report on stories of human struggle and triumph, despite the fact that he is going through his own struggles, has left a profound impression on audiences. In light of the fact that he has suffered a personal loss, many people have commented on the fact that his broadcasts incorporate an emotional depth that feels even more genuine. Someone who watched the video commented, "You can hear the compassion in David's voice. He is not merely reporting the news, rather he is connecting with the individuals who are the subjects of the stories." A reminder of the strength that can be found in honoring loved ones is provided by Muir's resiliency, which serves as a reminder of the concept. In the months that followed the death of his mother, he made efforts to commemorate her legacy in a variety of ways, some of which were more than others. Incorporating stories that highlighted the strength of families and devoting his time to causes that she cared about are just two of the meaningful ways that Muir has found to keep her spirit alive. Muir's willingness to show vulnerability is one of the most striking aspects of his resilience. This is a trait that is not typically associated with public figures of his stature. People who know him personally have witnessed how he has accepted his grief as a natural and necessary part of his journey, despite the fact that he continues to be a consummate professional on air. Through his willingness to openly rely on his family, friends, and co-workers, he has demonstrated that asking for assistance is not an indication of weakness, but rather a demonstration of the power that comes from human connection. During this period of Muir's life, discussions have also taken place regarding mental health and the significance of providing support to one another as we navigate the challenges that life presents. Others have been inspired to examine their own lives as a result of his story, which has served to remind them that it is possible to find healing even in the face of unfathomable destruction. For Muir, the legacy of his resilience is not simply about how he continued to live his life after the death of his mother. Rather, it is about how he has chosen to honor her memory through his work, his relationships, and his unwavering dedication to telling stories that are significant. David Muir is a powerful example of the human capacity to endure, adapt, and inspire, and he continues to grace screens across the United States by virtue of his widespread popularity. The lessons that can be learned from his journey are that resilience is not about denying the existence of pain, Rather, it is about discovering the strength to keep moving forward, one day at a time. The story of David Muir is one that exemplifies tenacity, compassion, and the transformative power of love. His experience of heartbreak serves as a reminder that even those who appear to be unshakable are confronted with significant difficulties. The ability of Muir to transform his sorrow into strength and to use his platform to motivate others while simultaneously paying tribute to his mother's memory in profoundly significant ways is what sets him apart from other people. Not only is this story about the experience of loss, but it is also about the human spirit and the connections that enable us to continue moving forward. A long-lasting impression has been made on those who look up to Muir as a result of his bravery in embracing his vulnerability and leaning on the support of his loved ones. I am curious as to your thoughts regarding Muir's remarkable journey. In the comments section below, please share your thoughts. In the event that you found this narrative to be moving, please remember to give this video a thumbs up, share it with someone who might be in need of motivation, and subscribe to our channel for additional compelling narratives. So that you never miss an update, make sure to ring the notification bell. Wait until we meet again.